Everybody, welcome back. This is part 2 of paragraph writing lesson. As you remember, in part 1, we talked about writing a great topic sentence, and in this part, we will cover the second part of the paragraph. I hope you will find it useful, and I will give you guys my email address at the end of this video so that you can contact me with your questions. Let's get started. Well, every paragraph normally has 3 parts. Part 1 is the topic sentence. This is what we covered already in the previous video, and you can find it in my channel. Part 2 is something we're going to talk about in this video today, supporting sentences and details. And part 3 that we will be covering in the next video, or part 3 of our lesson, is the concluding sentence, which is of course optional, and we will talk about it later. Well, the second part of every paragraph, supporting sentences. Let's talk about supporting sentences. What are they? Supporting sentences are actually used to support the main idea in the topic sentence and prove the point we made in our topic sentence. So of course we cannot just write a topic sentence and leave it like that. We cannot make a claim and leave it like that. We have to support our claim, and we have to provide evidence. We have to provide details for our main idea in the topic sentence. We do that through our supporting sentences. And every paragraph has one topic sentence, that's for sure. And usually 3 supporting sentences. That's the usual number of supporting sentences we need in an academic paragraph, but it would be fine if you have 4 supporting sentences. That's also okay. So it's usually something between 3 to 4 supporting sentences. And this visual actually helps us with how an academic paragraph looks like actually. One topic sentence, as you see here. I can underline that for you. One topic sentence, and then we'll have 3 supporting sentences. First, second, and third supporting sentence in every paragraph. Alrighty. Now, here we have some sentences taken from an actual paragraph, and we are going to analyze these sentences. The first sentence we have there is a topic sentence. Our topic sentence is the one I just underlined. Great restaurants have certain qualities. So after you tell me great restaurants have certain qualities, I will ask you, okay, so what are these qualities? That's the first question that comes to mind. What are the qualities of great restaurants? So now you have to give me 3 different supporting sentences to support your argument, to support the claim you made in the topic sentence. Now, let's see what these supporting sentences are. So, the first supporting sentence is that they provide fast and friendly service. That's my first supporting sentence. So the first quality of great restaurants is that they provide fast and friendly service. Very good supporting sentence. It actually makes me agree with the topic sentence. That's right, they provide fast and friendly service. Now, what about the second supporting sentence? Another important characteristic of a top restaurant is the high quality of food. So the second characteristic of a top restaurant is the high quality of food, and that makes the second supporting sentence. And the last supporting sentence is a pleasant atmosphere, which is the third quality of a successful restaurant. Now here, what I did was to list 3 different characteristics of a great restaurant to support my topic sentence. Now, what are the characteristics of good supporting sentences and what are some points we have to remember? The first point is that a supporting sentence must directly and clearly support the topic sentence. And what do we mean by that? So this is our topic sentence. There is too much violence on TV. Now, after you say that, you have to support it. You have to make me agree with you. And here is our first supporting sentence. First of all, almost all famous series contain many scenes of blood and beating. So after I read this sentence, I start to agree with you. That makes this a very good supporting sentence because this sentence strongly supports what you said in your topic sentence. Now let's have a look at the second topic supporting sentence here. Second, the government must control the amount of violence on TV. So this sentence is still talking about violence on TV, but does it help you with the point you made in your topic sentence? No. Does it really support what you said in the topic sentence? No. Does it in any way make me agree with the point you made in your topic sentence? No. So, although it is still talking about violence on TV, it doesn't really support what you said in the topic sentence. And this is not a good supporting sentence. What's the second point to keep in mind? Different supporting sentences must not cover the same point. This is a very common mistake. The example. The topic sentence is obesity in children is the result of several factors. So now obviously when I read this topic sentence, I want to read what factors are there. Look at the first supporting sentence. The first and most important reason is lack of physical exercise. So this is a very good supporting sentence because it is strongly supporting what we said in the topic sentence. What about the second supporting sentence here? Another cause of obesity is sitting a lot and not playing sports. So as you see, this sentence is basically saying the same thing we said in the first supporting sentence. Even though there are different words used in the second supporting sentence, the main point is actually the same. And since we don't want repetition here, I'm going to cross it as a poor supporting sentence. Now, what about the third point to remember when writing a good supporting sentence? The third point to remember is the use of a transition signal. So a transition signal is used to introduce the supporting sentence. Transition signals are actually very important because they help the reader to predict what they are going to read in the next sentence. So there are a lot of transition signals such as first of all, second of all, or secondly, thirdly, consequently, as a result, therefore, to summarize, to sum up. There are actually a lot of different transition signals, and we will talk about them in more detail at the end of part 3 of our lesson. But here, let's have a look at the example we have. If the topic sentence is small businesses have a lot of economic benefits for local communities, we can support it in many different ways. There are 3 very good supporting sentences here. So first, they create a lot of jobs. So my transition signal here is first. After I read the word first, I know I'm going to read the first supporting sentence about this topic sentence. So it helps me as a reader to predict what is going to be next. Second supporting sentence, another important effect is on taxes, which benefits the local community. So as soon as I see the word another, I know this is going to be the second point I'm going to read. And the third supporting sentence, finally, local people can save a lot on gas. So I see the transition signal finally, and I can predict, I expect this one to be the last point. So these are the three very important points to keep in mind while writing a good supporting sentence. Well, as you remember, this is what we said a paragraph should look like. One topic sentence and three supporting sentences. But now let's have a look at an actual paragraph components. So here I have a paragraph, but as you see the title, there is something wrong with this paragraph. I need you to read this paragraph and tell me, what do you think is wrong with this paragraph? What do we need here? Why is it not a good paragraph? Let's read this together. All great restaurants have certain qualities. First, they provide fast and friendly service. Another important characteristic of a top restaurant is the high quality of food. A pleasant atmosphere is the third quality of a successful restaurant. In short, if customers experience efficient service, eat delicious food, and feel comfortable in a restaurant, they will definitely go back to that place. So, do you think this is a good paragraph? Of course not. And what do you think is wrong with this paragraph? Well, the fact is this paragraph is too short. There are very good supporting sentences, but at the end of the paragraph, I still don't have enough information to agree with the writer. This paragraph is not convincing because it only has supporting sentences with no details. So that's why this paragraph looks very weak. And also it is very incomplete. It's not a completed paragraph because at the end of the paragraph, I still am not sure that those are the most important qualities of great restaurants. Again, because I don't have enough details, I don't have enough strong supporting details for that. Although I have very good supporting sentences, it's not enough to have a very good paragraph. So basically what I need to complete that paragraph and any other paragraph are actually details. Now, what are details? They are specific points that give more information about supporting sentences. So in other words, having good supporting sentences is not enough. We need details to give specific information about those supporting sentences. So what do details do? Details make supporting sentences stronger and more convincing. And we usually have 1 to 3 details for each supporting sentence. And the actual looks of a paragraph must be something like this. One topic sentence, usually up to 3 supporting sentences, and we need to give 1, 2, or 3 details for each supporting sentence we write. So we cannot just write a supporting sentence and leave it like that because it will look like the previous paragraph. It will be very weak and also not complete. All right, here we have sentences from an actual paragraph. Let's analyze these sentences together. The first sentence is a topic sentence. Great restaurants have certain qualities. Now I need to have supporting sentences to support my claim, to support my argument here. Now, what is the first supporting sentence? First, they provide fast and friendly service. And now, after the supporting sentence, I have to give specific details. What do I mean by fast and friendly service? I have to make this idea completely clear by giving specific details. And here are my details. People who work there are polite and smile all the time. That would be the first detail. And the second detail, they take care of customers' needs without wasting time. Now, after I read these details, I understand what the writer means exactly by fast and friendly service. So these are very good details. Now, what about the second supporting sentence? Another important characteristic of a top restaurant is the high quality of food. Now, again, I have to make myself completely clear by giving details, specific details. High quality of food. What do I mean by that? They use fresh and healthy ingredients. Yes, that helps with the quality of food, of course. And the second second detail here would be cooking style matches the taste of customers. So two details to make my idea in the supporting sentence very clear, and the details are working very well actually. Now let's have a look at the third supporting sentence. A pleasant atmosphere is the third quality of a successful restaurant. What do I mean by a pleasant atmosphere? What do I mean by that exactly? Can you give me some specific details? Yes, the first detail would be they are clean and well maintained. And the second detail would be that they have attractive decor, lighting, and music. So after I give more specific details, what I was talking about in the supporting sentence becomes completely clear. And here is the final product. This is what we want. All the sentences we just analyzed put together in a form of a completed paragraph. Well, now let's see how we can write a good detail. First thing to keep in mind is that you have to make sure your details are directly related to the supporting sentence they follow. Details must prove the point in the supporting sentence. So they must be directly talking about the supporting sentence. Now let's have a look at the example of the paragraph we just went through. The topic sentence was, all great restaurants have certain qualities. The first supporting sentence was, they provide fast and friendly service. So any detail we give must be talking about fast and friendly service. What is the first detail? People who work there are polite and always smile. So of course, being polite and smiling all the time is directly related to friendliness of workers there. So this is a very good detail because it's directly giving me more specific details about the supporting sentence. Let's have a look at the second detail though. The food is delicious and clean. The food is delicious and clean. Do you think this detail is related to fast and friendly service? Not really. This detail has nothing to do with fast and friendly service. It's just talking about the quality of the food, and it's not giving me any specific information about the service. So this is actually not a good detail. Point to keep in mind when it comes to writing details is that details must be specific. Don't write general sentences as details. So that's what they are called, right? Details. They have to be specific. We cannot write something general and present it as a detail. Now, what is the example of this one? The topic sentence. Small businesses have a lot of economic benefits for local communities. Well, that's my argument. Now I need some supporting sentences to support my argument, to support my point. What is the first supporting sentence? Firstly, they create jobs. Well, this is a good supporting sentence. I need more specific details though. So what is the first detail? Every time a new shop opens in a neighborhood, many local people can be hired in different positions like cashier, salesperson, etc. So the first detail is giving exactly what I need, which is a specific piece of information about what I said in my supporting sentence. They create jobs. I'm giving a specific examples of the jobs that are being created and how these jobs are being created. That's a very good detail. But what about the second detail? Small businesses are good for economy. Do you think this is giving the reader any kind of a specific detail, any specific information about supporting sentence we have? Not really. This is simply making a very general point, and this is something that I can use as my topic sentence because it's not as specific at all. It is too general for a detail. So that's not a good detail at all. Okay, guys, that's it for the second part of our paragraph writing lesson. I hope you learned something in this lesson that can help you write better quality paragraphs. And here is my email address. Please don't hesitate to contact me in case you have any questions or you need any more explanation or clarification on any part of this lesson. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and good luck.